The TV show Home Improvement. Tim Allen. Home Improvement. That was one of my favorite shows. People said it was sexist, the way they had the show, with the big, because they, it was a man show. They talked tools and building stuff and had sexy girls, Pamela Anderson there, and from Baywatch, and the T-shirt working on Tube Time. They had a show based on, they had a show based on a show. Sorry about that. Something just fell down that shouldn't have. So in the middle of this show, Tool Time, that was the show within the show, Home Improvement. Tim Allen was paid to be a host of a Tool Time show, and then they show his family life when he goes home after doing the show. And Home Improvement was a great show. It was educational, and Tim Allen was always get hurt on the set doing Tool Time. And the name of the show was going to be Tool Time. First it was Hammer Time, after MC Hammer thing. They based it after that, and they were trying to ride the name of MC Hammer, but then there was a problem with that. Couldn't use Hammer Time. So they's like, no, we're opening the door to a lot of problems. Because MC Hammer had a cartoon, and Hammer Time was, so they ended up changing the name, and it went from Tool Time, and Tool Time ended up becoming part of the show that they would do, Home Improvement. That ended up being the name of the show, and from that point on, it was great. But there was a lot of different things that went down. Now, one of the child actors became very popular on the show at the time. A guy named Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And he was the Macaulay Culkin, ever since Macaulay Culkin blew up, they were like, everybody loves this kid here. We could have another Macaulay Culkin. Child actors. Here comes the bloom of child actors. So while he's doing this show, he was a kid that really was never discovered until he was doing this show. And everyone was like, he's got an adorable face. He stands out. We got to get this kid now. Now, during the show's growth, and they were in like their 8th season. Show started in the 90s, and during the reign of Home Alone and all these shows are coming up, and Macaulay Culkin ran it for like to 94, and where he really started to age out. So these years were becoming very vital for Jonathan Taylor Thomas. This was it. This was his year to really blossom, and his time to sprout out. And when you got managers, they're looking like, look, this is it. Most shows are in their last run, and you've dedicated everything to this run. So they told him he didn't want to do the last season, period. So they had to come in and figure out a way. His contract was in there, but they wanted to let him get out because he wanted to focus on school, and he was slipping in schoolwork, and he wanted to get out his deal so that he can quit the show right in the final season so that he could leave. So he left on the show. They had him go to like Costa Rica or something for some experiment. And the real reason why he left the show, and that's how he ended up leaving the show, he came back on a holiday special or something they did. I don't know how they pulled it off, but he did something. He didn't appear on the season finale, but he came back for they had a holiday, like Home for the Holidays episode, and then he was gone. And what ticked everybody off, they first they were like, okay, well, cool, you know, if he needs to go for, you know, to take care of his, you know, academics, no problem. You know, Tim Allen had no problem with that. And what got him upset is the fact that later down the line they said, well, he told us it was about going to school. But then we turned around and he had did some movies. That's what it was really about. He wanted to go do some movies. But he told us it was about school. So naturally he lied. So when you have that on the table, it creates a bad working environment. You know, as far as wanting to do a reunion show and be around him. So, yeah, it was quite an interesting show. And a lot of people wanted to see the actual guy who was building stuff have a spinoff with him doing his own show. That's how much people loved the show. But we didn't get it. And that was that. But yes, Home Improvement is one of my favorite shows. That was a classic during the 90s. I'm out.